But we begin this morning with the continued Veepstakes as Kamala Harris prepares to pick her running mate. Governor Andy Beshear has been on the campaign trail rallying support for the presumptive Democratic nominee for President Kamala Harris. He is not the only candidate on the short list that has been on the trail this week, and also not the only candidate who has canceled planned events this weekend. As of Friday afternoon, when we taped this particular program, Harris is not yet announced a pick, but we expect that to come before Tuesday. Regardless of if Beshear is picked as the vice presidential nominee, his top advisor Rocky Adkins told me this week he sees the attention as a positive for the Commonwealth.
All I know, we win either way in Kentucky. If he's not selected, he remains the governor of this great Commonwealth, continuing to do the great job he's doing. If he is selected and wins, he goes to D.C. and he transforms that energy and that leadership at the national level, and he brings people together, and he helps get rid of this anger politics that we see in today's political arena.
The other candidates that appear on the short list are Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Senator Thomas, I'll let you go ahead and start this particular discussion. This involves, the pick for your party. If we zoom out just a little bit and look at this process from start to finish, because we've had a roller coaster ride of the past few weeks, the accelerated Veepstakes process, what do you think of it?
Well, I think it's good. Frankly, I like the fact that this election's become a sprint rather than a marathon. Most elections around the world are like 100 days or less. And, given the fact that people really tire of politics and really don't start paying attention voting until after Labor Day, this is good. As far as Governor Beshear is concerned, I've said several times now that the times make the man. You judge a leader by the times in which he or she lives. And Governor Beshear has shown that he is an excellent crisis manager. He can take difficult times and manage them very well. He did that in his first term, 2 months into his term with COVID. He did that again when we had those devastating tornadoes in western Kentucky. A few months later, he navigated people during the horrible floods in eastern Kentucky. Every time got people relocated, got businesses restarted, got schools rebuilt, and people returned to normal within a very brief period of time. That's not even mentioning what he's done economically here in Kentucky. So he's a man who can meet the times, meet crisis, and handle it very well and get people through it.
Senator Bledsoe, I'll go ahead and bring you in here. There's been a lot of discussion about Governor Beshear being involved in the process, but zooming out and looking at it as a whole, how do you weigh some of the strengths and weaknesses of some of the different Democrats that are being discussed here, coming from a Republican?
Sure. I mean, it's not my choice to make, so there's a number of good options out there, if you will. I think it's an honor to have Governor Beshear in that conversation. I think it's, politics aside, very similar to having Leader McConnell, Dean of the House Rogers, 3 chairmen of our House members that might actually be chairman next year. It's a great thing for Kentucky to be in that discussion. Personally, I think Tim Walz may be a better fit. I look at his background from a military perspective, his legislative experience in the House, in Congress, as well as a state House member, and it has executive experience, a little longer tenure, maybe in the governing spot, and I think he brings a lot to the table. Minnesota's a little more swingy, if you will, than Kentucky, so that may be a better fit.
Senator Thomas, I know that a lot of the Democrats here in Kentucky are really excited to see Governor Beshear, in the talks right now. But what do you think of some of these other names that are being floated as well, and how their strengths and weaknesses may stack up?
Well, as I've said before, the Democrats nationally have a deep bench. We've got a lot of strong presidential candidates. I mean, the ones that Amanda's mentioned, certainly, but there are probably a dozen others she could have mentioned. So we're very proud of our bench. Again, as you said, I'm very, very strong on Governor Beshear for the reasons I've enumerated and others. But regardless of whoever Vice President Harris picks, the ultimate goal is we're going to get behind her and that candidate, and we're going to beat Donald Trump.
Whenever this conversation started, and the last time it was discussed on this program last week with a different set of guests, a lot has been brought up, at least to me, about the electoral advantage that Kentucky could potentially present if Governor Beshear was tapped as the VP pick, and that often being a reason why perhaps the governor may not be the pick. If we look at history, though, whenever then Vice President Harris was tapped to be President Biden's running mate, she was bringing California with her. Mike Pence with Indiana, Tim Kaine with Virginia. What do you all think of the particular argument that's been made about the electoral advantage of Kentucky, and if it honestly matters to the Veepstakes? Is that old style thinking?
You want to take that First Amendment?
Sure.
You want me to take it?
I don't think it matters at all. It doesn't seem in the past to have much weight, if you will, in that issue. So it's not going to take Kentucky with him in that race. And I'm not sure it'll swing some other states maybe the way they think it does. I think it sounds like at least Vice President Harris is looking for someone to be a better partner than necessarily to win the electoral map.
Well, let me say two things. First of all, let me disagree respectfully with my good friend Amanda Bledsoe. If Governor Beshear is to pick, we are not going to concede Kentucky. I want to make that very clear. You know, when we talked, as you know, Bodie, 3 months ago, and this issue came up, I said to you then, before all this other news about Biden and Harris and Trump, that Kentucky was going to be more competitive this election cycle than people thought. And if Beshear's on the pick, I will tell you again, we're not going to concede Kentucky in this 2024 presidential election. I think Beshear brings balance to this ticket, and having balance on the ticket is always important. You know, Obama and Biden brought good, strong balance to this country from 2008 to 2016.
Let me push back a tad, though. The issues at the federal level are not the same as the state and local level, and we both know that. And so while I see Kentucky had voted for him, and a number of Republicans did, cross over for him as governor, those are not the same issues at the federal level. And I don't think you're going to see them win to cross for Governor Beshear on the federal stuff.
Well, Amanda, I'll say that we will, on this issue, we will respectfully agree to disagree. And I think you'll see, if Beshear's on the ticket, I think you'll see a far more competitive race. But we will make that, we will know that determination on November 5th.
Well, we'll have to let that be the last word on this particular topic for right now.